Hey everyone, Ocklawaha Boy Rocks here, and I'm in a different location. I'm not at my house in Central Florida. I'm out here in western Idaho, and I'm about to go dig opal on a private claim. So let's get started. Each claim should have a center post, so here's this one. And a look around the area. Beautiful area. Okay, here I am at one of the dig areas. There's a bunch of them. What I've been told to do, flip you around here. What I've been told to do is dig down in this clay, look for nodules, and break them open. So I've got my bucket there. I've got my tools that I brought with me. Little bags, 3 gallons. The fee I paid covers 2.5 gallons of material, which in opal is a bunch. And so I'm going to see what I can find. I like those bags for specimens. I think they're really good. Keep you from getting carried away. And let's get digging. Okay, I've been told to dig down in this spot and look for nodules. They're supposed to be golf ball to egg size, and I'm supposed to break them open and see what's in them. So there's a lot of stuff that looks like it's got potential. I'm just going to get in here and get some and then break them open. Okay, I got my little pile here. Hose it off a little bit. Well, some interesting stuff here, but will it have opal in it? That is the question. So, break a couple of them open and see. Alright, I can't tell at all if the camera's focusing on this. This is one of these little nodules, and now I know I'm on the right track. There's some water clear and some milky white opal in there. I don't see any color. I do not intend to break this one open at all. I was trying to knock some clay off of it just with my fingers, and it split open. And I don't know how well that's focusing, but if it is, how sparkly is that? I'm just wandering these tailings looking for the little things. They're more or less all over the place. There's a little tiny one. Broken one. There's another broken open one here. All the little sparklies. So, I found a few decent ones this way. I'm going to have to go start some serious digging pretty soon. I think I'm going to take a little tour of the facility, so to speak. See what I can find. See if there's any areas that haven't obviously been dug around in as much. This stuff, and I wouldn't have thought of this as a nodule, but I can get it to focus. Okay, I was filming that last piece and I set my bag down and it spilled out. And as I was picking it up, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this too well or not. right here. This is precious opal. That's what I'm after. I don't know if you can see the color play. That's a little tiny piece of honest to goodness precious opal. Just gorgeous out here. I came back down to make myself a PB&J for lunch. Decided to walk down this gully to see if there was anything worth seeing washed down in it. And oh my goodness, the view going up through there. Back at the car for the two most important things of the day. Now I'm back over kind of where I started after not having much luck anywhere else. Not that I was having much luck here, but more than anywhere else. So I'm going to go down here. Look along the bottom of this and see if any of these round nodules rolled down there. And then see if I can get a little bit along this wall. I'm out here by myself, so I'm not real interested in getting down where I can't see where I step with the snakes and the scorpions. Sometimes when you're out rock hounding, you find something and you think, is this one? And you break it open and wish that you had waited till you were home with the saw. Back over here by the wall and just broke this one open. I just can't quit taking in these panoramas. And then someone bought the wrong tool for the job and left it here. Guess I'm not going to focus here, but that's the first piece of somewhat gemmy common opal I've found. So, as you can tell, I'm a little out of breath tromping around this place, but it's a little encouraging. Now I'm in an area of the tailings that shows some promise. There's a little opal showing in that one. And this one is water clear opal. Too bad I fractured it all up by breaking the nodule open instead of knowing what it was and taking it home and cutting it. Alright, let's take a look at some of this material. Brought back lots of stuff, including one great big piece from the Idaho Opal Claim. So I'm going to move you over here, take a look at it, and then I'm going to work some of it. Okay, so this is the material. The fee I paid to go dig at the claim was for 2.5 gallons of material. Counting the big rock here, I probably got that much. So what I was looking for was opal in nodules. Common opal, water clear, and precious opal. So here's an example. You can see a little bit of opal in a few places there. You can see in this big one that there is some opal. That's why I threw it in. I brought back a ton of these little nodules, so they may not have anything in them. This is an example of one that was just broken off, so they may have opal. Lots and lots of them have these little druzy sparklies in them. The color tells me calcite. Since opal's a silicate, I would have thought maybe there'd be like quartz in them, but I really don't know. So I am, of course, hoping for some precious opal. There's a little water clear in there. I did find one little BB-sized piece of precious opal that I haven't been able to find since I got everything home, but I know it's out there. Here's just a loose piece of common opal. Another nodule with crystals in it. So I've got all these different nodules. This one I can obviously feel is hollow. It hardly weighs anything. But this place was right up my alley. You know how much I like Thundereggs and geodes. So to be able to go somewhere that I can pick up a whole bunch of stuff to cut open was a lot of fun. So I'm going to be kind of slabbing this to see what's inside. I'm going to be slicing a little bit at a time with this on the trim saw. See if I hit anything good. That's what's going to happen with that material. A lot of this material, like these little nodules, will just get hit with a 220 grit on the cab wheel, and to knock the crust off one end and see what's inside, because if there's opal in there, I don't want to just cut through the middle and be left with two smaller pieces. I want to clean everything off the outside. So unlike what I usually do, I'm going to process through all of this material because I'm hoping to find some good opal to use in a project. I usually pull out a few pieces, do something with it, show you what they look like, and leave some to have fun with on another day. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to process through all of this unless I just find, in the first third of it, find all the precious opal I want, which isn't going to happen. Then I might stop. But I think I'm going to get through all of it. So I'm going to get started. Alright, that's some water clear opal in this one, so let me get it out in the sun. Okay, so there's my first bit of opal. It is fractured. I don't know if the saw did that or if it was just fractured. And I don't think the camera is going to pick it up, but way back in the back of the piece, there's a little play of color. Well, I was working this piece on the sandpaper wheel a little bit and let it grab it out of my hand. So that was the second nodule I cut open, It was really better than anything I had expected to find, and I managed to explode it. So much for that. Alright, I brought this piece back because of this vein of opal here. I knocked the end off of it. I've got opal back here. It's pretty heavy in the hand, so I'm going to keep trimming little pieces off of it, and maybe I've got a decent sized opal in here. Alright, I'm continuing to whittle this piece down. I haven't hit the main part of the clear opal, so it may just be a thin ribbon through there, but I'm going to keep working on it. Okay, so here's some of this opal material. I did not end up getting into this bigger stuff because I honestly wasn't having much luck with similar type stuff. So I mentioned these nodules full of sparkly crystals. I suspect they're calcite, but I don't know. I was told by the claim owner to keep this stuff in water or it would turn cloudy. I had some out of water for quite some time, shipping it home, and nothing happened, so I don't know if he's talking about over the course of months and years or what, but I'm going to dump this water out. And look at some of this. Here's another one of the nodules with the sparklies. I know these aren't Thundereggs, but they kind of resemble it. Okay, so here's a nice clear one. See if I can entice a focus. There we go. So I didn't have any, cuttable opal. It was all just kind of interlaced with these nodules. This one had a little bit of color in it down in the bottom corner, but that's never going to show up on camera. This is just an example of the material that I thought was cool, some of the nodule material. Here's one that's got a little common opal, and then it transitions up to some water clear. It's a nice example of a water clear one. Another one that had a little color down in the bottom of it, but I don't think you're going to see it on here. So a white one. And another clear one. So all in all, the opal claim was a good experience. I think I paid 40 or 45 bucks for the day. I was the only one with access to it that day. So thought it was pretty cool of the claim owner to let one person come out and access the claim like that. He
wasn't making much money on it, but he made $45 more than if no one had showed up. It's another location that would be great to have a second shot at now that I've gotten the material home and cut a bunch of it, know a little bit more what I'm looking for. It would even be better to have a saw out there to just kind of slice into it. He recommended hitting the stuff with a hammer to see what's inside and high grade, but as soon as you do that, the opal inside's just completely shattered. So maybe he's got some special technique that I don't know about, but I hit a couple of them and broke them open, and it just ruined everything inside. Gorgeous location. It's right on the edge of the Oahe front there in Idaho on the way into Oregon. And I found a couple little bits of color. I had a really nice one I was getting, could have had a little tiny pendant out of or something that had color in it, and my wheel jerked it out of my hand, and I didn't have any padding in the bottom of my cab machine, and it just shattered like glass in there. So now I have more little pieces, tiny pieces with color. But anyway, great way to start off the trip, and hope you enjoyed it. Got some little shinies, some little clear opal pieces, and what's up next? A private plume agate claim from Graveyard Point area, I think was my next stop. So I'll probably have a shot video in between, and then we'll head back out to get some plume agate. All right, see you next time.